Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters. I'm your host Mitch, glad to have you here. Here at the Commander's Quarters, we build fun and inexpensive focused Commander decks. But today's episode is going to be a Commander quick take. On episodes like these, I give you my initial take on a newly spoiled Commander from an upcoming set. I'm going to talk about a potential direction for that Commander and possible cards that you can use for that build. In this show, and episodes like this are possible because of viewers like you. So make sure that you like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and share it with friends. And while you're at it, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any episodes. You can also support this show directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without their support. Another way that you can support the show is by checking out our merchandise on thecommandersquarters.com. And finally, you can support this show by supporting our sponsor, TCG Player. So whenever you're buying a deck or just individual cards, make sure you use our links below. But before we really jump into this, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. On episodes like these, they are just initial quick takes. This Commander is just as new to me as it is to you. And because of that, I don't have a finalized deck build for this Commander yet. So the direction that I choose to take this Commander today might not be the same one that I do in a deck tech. And because of that, some of the cards I'm going to mention might not be in that deck either. Alright, now that we're on the same page, let's get into it. This Commander quick take is on Hogaak, Arisen Necropolis. Hogaak is an 8/8 avatar with trample that costs 5 Golgari. Now you can't spend mana to cast this spell, but it does have Convoke and Delve, and you can also cast it from your graveyard as well. This is a very unique take on a Commander and one that we've really never seen before. Not being able to spend mana to cast your Commander is a pretty large downside, but it gives you other ways to cast it with Convoke and Delve, so it makes up for that. On top of that, being able to cast it from the graveyard seems like something we can really abuse. Essentially, this is a great way to get around any kind of Commander tax. I'm definitely not sure if Hogaak is going to be more effective in the command zone or in the 99, but if I were to build a Commander deck around it, it would definitely be a tokens deck that's centered around the graveyard. My initial thought is that early on it'd be easiest to cast by leaning on its Delve mechanic. So we're going to be running cards like Stitcher Supplier and Satyr Wayfinder that can put a ton of cards into the graveyard very quickly. On top of that, they're creatures, so they can also help convoke it as well. And every time we go to cast it, we need at least 2 creatures in play to do so. So if possible, most of our effects in this deck are going to center around creatures. We're also going to want some continuous mill effects as well, such as Nyx Weavers. With the right hand, we can get our Commander out really quickly and get way ahead of our opponents. Once our Commander's out, we can use it in combination with some cards to generate a ton of tokens that can help recast it. For example, we're going to create 8 insects when we sacrifice Hogaak to Carrion, and then we can just tap 7 of those insects to recast Hogaak from our graveyard. And then Karan's the Guildmage has a repeatable effect like this that we can really abuse. If we have the mana for it, we can even do it multiple times in a turn. Feed the Pack is a fantastic free effect after it's out, and it's going to give us a ton of wolves. At the beginning of our end step, we can sacrifice our Commander to it to create 8 wolves. Now with this, we will have to wait one more turn to recast our Commander, but this effect is well worth it. Along with these ways to sacrifice our Commander, we're also going to be running some sacrifice outlets for our tokens. Green and black have plenty of ways to take advantage of creatures dying, including Fecundity, Foster, and Poison Tip Archer. Fecundity is going to draw us a ton of cards for free. And then Foster has, whenever a creature you control dies, you may pay 1. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So this is going to help us replace our creatures and also fill our graveyard too. And then cards like Poison Tip Archer can really help us drain our opponents in a deck like this. We can also use our massive amount of tokens to drain our opponents as well with something like Throne of the God Pharaoh. It's going to drain each of our opponents during our end step equal to the number of tapped creatures we control. And since we can tap some of our creatures to convoke our Commander, we don't even have to attack with them. But we're definitely going to want to attack if we have a card like Overwhelming Stampede. With our Commander in play, it's going to give all of our creatures +8/+8 in trample until end of turn. And then Dragon Throne of Tarkir is basically the exact same thing, but it's a repeatable effect. We're going to be using cards like these and many others that take advantage of the raw power that our Commander has. As always, there are going to be some great non-budget additions that we can add in as well. Pathbreaker Ibex is basically Overwhelming Stampede on a body. With our Commander in play, Rishkar's Expertise is going to draw us 8 cards, and we can cast a card with converted mana cost of 5 or less from our hand without paying its mana cost. And then Greater Good would be an absolute bomb in this deck. By sacrificing our Commander, we get to draw 8 cards, and we only have to discard 3. And those 3 cards that we can discard can even help us delve our Commander back into play. Once this is out, the value that we can generate with our Commander is absolutely absurd. Again, I'm not sure if Hogaak is going to be better in the command zone or in the 99. Regardless, I'm happy to see such a unique card, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. But I really want to hear your thoughts on this take, so why don't you let me know in the comments below. And make sure that you're following us on social media for more updates and sneak peeks on future episodes. Links to our social media accounts can be found in the description. Also in the description below is a link to the Commander's Quarters Patreon page, and I just want to say a quick thank you to the patrons who have subscribed so far. There are many benefits to being a patron for the Commander's Quarters, including being able to vote on future Commanders for deck techs. There's even a general level tier where you get your own personalized deck tech dedicated to you. I truly couldn't do this without all of your support, so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. If you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, check out some of our other episodes on budget deck techs, Quest for Quarters episodes, Commander topics, and Creators Quarters. And with that, I'm out of here. Thanks again, and have a good one.